to talk about how we're finally going to stop drowning in piles. I'm April Perry. My husband Eric is here across the desk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our class. We're thrilled to have you with us and hope you will enjoy.
Here's how you know if you're in the right place right now. If some part of your life has piles, like piles of emails, piles of mental clutter, or piles of stuff just in your office or your kitchen or around the perimeter of your bedroom, and you just feel like, there's just piles everywhere, okay? If that's you, at LearnDoBecome, we have a very simple step-by-step process to show you how to get out of that. Today, we're going to show you 4 steps that are going to hopefully revolutionize your life the same way it's done for ours. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story and take you back in time about 8 years ago, where I started out really well. I had my first Franklin Quest planner when I was 13 years old. I ditched high school 2 separate days my senior year to attend Franklin Quest seminars, where I was in the front row with my planner, just so excited to learn. And I actually went on to work at Franklin Covey. Now, what happened was when real life started and Eric and I got married, started having children, went back to school, we had this mortgage and student loans and all kinds of stuff going on. I'm trying to run a business from home. We have aging parents. I was waking up every morning feeling like a pit in my stomach and feeling totally overwhelmed. And I was working hard all day and then going to bed feeling like a failure. Now, I just want you to type in the chat and let me know if you can relate, whether you have children or not, that you work hard all day to get things done, but for some reason you feel like you're always drowning at the end of the day. And even if you worked twice as fast, you really don't think you could ever get out of those piles because it's like they just keep coming and it keeps building and you keep feeling super overwhelmed.
So unfortunately, you're the only person in the class today who's had those thoughts or feelings about life. The only one out there.
We're seeing an amen, definitely can relate. Yes, that's me. Yes, relate, never ending, absolutely. I mean, this is super, super common. Now, my story has a really happy ending that I want yours to start today. I'm excited to share it with you. I'm not saying this in a bragging way at all, but I want to be really clear that for the past 8 years, I haven't had any piles anywhere in my life. So even though we get hundreds of emails a day through our website, my emails are at 0 every night when I go to bed, and I'm not really in my email that much. There's no piles on my desk and no piles around the house, and it's generally clean, even though we've done more than ever before with an active family, building our business, all the kinds of surgeries and stuff we've gone through. And so what I'm going to share with you today are 4 steps that show you how totally replicable this can be. You can have a totally calm mind. You can get a nap or a little rest every day. And whatever it is that's overwhelming you right now, we can show you how we're going to change that around and make it so doable. Now, I built a lot of what I teach off of David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, which was a life changer for me. And I found when I took what I learned from him and kind of simplified it, made it a little more visual, and showed people exactly how to do it step by step, and combining things like things I learned from Stephen Covey, Fly Lady, Julie Morgenstern, I've actually started training thousands and thousands of people around the world and online how to replicate the process. What is so fun is that every single person I've ever seen who's gone through the same steps that I go through has gotten the same results. It's like the algorithm. It's not hard to do. It's just no one really ever showed us how to do it. We're going to change that today, and I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm not representing the David Allen Company, but they have invited me to be a GTD influencer because they know how much I adore their work. Now we're going to jump into some before and after pictures in just a minute. We have a huge class today, which is awesome, and I want to optimize the chat for you because this is live, which is so fun. If you're on a desktop, that's the best way to view the class, and if you have an exit full screen and then click chat, you can see side-by-side slides and chat. On a mobile device, we encourage you to stay on the slides as much as possible. Just pop in the chat to share some ideas and maybe scan it, but don't try to read the whole chat and watch the whole thing at the same time. We want to just make sure you're focused on the actual class and your participation. And then you can close the chat if it gets overwhelming, okay? Because we have a huge group and we're so grateful you've all made time to take care of each other today. Okay, so here's our before photos, and I want you to let me know in the text chat if you either have a physical space that looks like this or if your mind feels like this, or both. So you could be like, that's my mind, or that's my kitchen, or that's every room in my house. Or you could just say both, like that's generally my life. And this is, we're seeing a whole lot of both. I'm saying yes, yes, both. Like for a lot of my people, it's like, well, yeah, you just shown me a visual representation of what I live in every day. Now, I want you to know there is zero shame here at all. This simply means that you're being hit by a fire hose every day, and no one has ever shown you what to do with everything that's coming in a way that works with your life, because you're busy. You've got a lot of stuff going on. Eric, can you help me get my my plug in? You're busy. You've got a lot going on, and so all this means is way too much is coming. So I'm going to show you the afters, and when I do, I want you to give me an adjective that comes to your mind. Okay, so when you go from feeling that before and feeling like, oh, I'm drowning, to all of a sudden having clear space and being able to see the desk or being able to see the floor, what comes to your mind? Okay, we're seeing impossible, clean, miraculous, calm, peace, freedom. Like, this is so fun. And what we're seeing is that, oh my goodness, I could actually breathe again.
Yeah, we love these pictures because they're real life situations. Real people live in these spaces. They're not perfectly organized and they're not Pinterest worthy. They don't have to be. I love this kitchen dust nook on the left because despite being not as organized as some people might think, for that individual and their family, they can find the resources. They can find the information they need, even though the binders aren't color coordinated. And what we want to do in the class today is share these 4 simple steps that every single one of us can put into practice today to get a better handle on our projects and really move forward in the goals and dreams we have for our lives.
Now, the thing is, we usually don't see before and afters like this unless we're watching like some HGTV show or something where you have a team come in and the family moves out. But what I want to show you is you can actually do this yourself. It's just that you need to learn how to build a command central. Okay, so this is the main idea that I want to present today. A command central is a seamless system that's going to hold all of your projects, routines, tasks, papers, ideas, emails, text messages. My command central is here behind me, and I have a digital version as well that kind of mirrors it. So anything paper is going to be in here, and then I have actually a lot of digital resources because we run a website and everyone likes having a smartphone. But when you have a command central in place, whether it's paper or digital or a hybrid, now you have a simple spot where you know where everything is and your mind is able to finally relax.
Yeah, I just asked the question in the text chat. Who in the class today would love to have a command central or a system like this in their home or their office,
like, me,
wherever they're working from? So Nikki and Paige,
raise your hand.
No, I mean, you can raise your hand, but honestly, just think for a moment, if having a system like that would be helpful, maybe in the text chat, share with us in just a few words or a sentence, how would having a system like this working in your life be really helpful to you right now?
Yeah, Anne's like, wow, no kidding, right? Like, this is exciting. And so I see my hands just being raised all over. A command central, if you think about it, okay, if I actually had a system and nothing was in piles, like what Dawn is saying, it'd make me feel more organized, less stress. I mean, Nikki's
see
like,
all the tasks in one place, much mental relief.
Everyone?
Yeah, love this.
Yeah, and so when we think, and like, yeah, Christy's like, I love it, my brain can finally rest. This is what I want to show you, because although we have a business that we run from home, Eric and I work from home with 4 children, a ton of stuff going on, aging parents, all kinds of activities, my mind is totally calm. And it's not because I'm magic, it's because I've learned how to build a command central. It's seriously life-changing. So I'm going to show you today how to do it. Now, this right here is everything that you need for a command central. And I'm going to send you the slides afterwards, so you can take a screenshot if you want, but I'll send this to you with the replay. Now, I want you not to feel overwhelmed by all of this. Instead, I want you thinking like, I just took a machine and I took it apart. I disassembled it so you could see what's inside. Like if I just took your car and I took it apart, I was like, all right, here's the starter, here's the brake, here's the seats, here's the steering wheel, here's the frame. Like, I'm showing you all the parts of the car that you need. Now, what's interesting is that a lot of people will tell me, well, I have a command central, or I've tried to build a command central, but it just doesn't work. That's kind of like saying, well, I have a car in my driveway, but it doesn't work. We wouldn't give up on cars. We would just think, well, let's go figure it out and let's figure out why it's not working and we're going to fix it. So today I'm going to show you how you're going to start to fix the command central. Now, I'm not going to teach you all of it today because I need a few more hours to do that, but I'm going to teach you these 2 parts that are somewhat independent. A context-based next actions list and a current projects list. You could actually do both of these today, start getting it working, and feel some immediate relief. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. Here's how you know if you are using your head to do the job of a command central. Do you currently have a voice that's in your head like reminding you to do things all day long? And the voice is saying, Did you remember to call that client? Did you go to the dry cleaners? Were you going to put food in the crock pot? What about losing weight? Were you going to plan a trip? Do you have so much work you need to do? Are you going to clean the bathrooms, right? It's like all these voices, okay, we're saying constantly, yes, yes, yes. It's chaos in there all the time. That's how I was too. And I would walk around my house with this voice just chatting at me all day. And it really stops you from enjoying your family and causes, you know, a lot of anxiety and discouragement. Now, the voice is trying to keep you safe, which is why we have this chatter in our head. But tell me, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome, how would you feel if that voice could be silenced for good? Not because you ignore it, but literally it has nothing to say because your brain is just super calm. And you're like, my lists are all short. I'm getting all of them done. All of my projects are moving forward. There is nothing in my life that's late or overdue. And I'm just able to be flexible with the, you know, crazy demands of my life, but it doesn't affect me. I'm able to be like that calm in the middle of the storm. Okay, so we're seeing like millions, 10 times infinity. And Melissa's like, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd miss that voice. So funny. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I mean, this is what we want. This is what I have right now and what I've helped thousands of people to do. And it's hard to actually explain how awesome it is. And it's often hard for people to believe it's possible, but that's why we're having this class, because I want to show you, like, we're going to get started. I'm not just going to tell you about it. We're going to involve you. That's why I want you actually engaged and paying attention, because if you pay attention for the next, you know, 48 minutes or so that we're together, you're going to see that this relief is going to start today. So number one, I just want you to renew hope and to take a deep breath, because I know how it feels to think you're drowning and to think that there's no way out and to feel like you just can't ever have your life back. Like, I know how that feels. But if you're drowning, I'm going to show you the way out today. We're going to identify one current project and then a next action to go with it. I'm going to show you the mistakes people make, because most people do this wrong, surprisingly, but I did it wrong my whole life. So I'm going to show you. Then we'll learn to create context-based lists, either paper or digital. And then we're going to review the 4 decision-making criteria to help you know when you are actually getting up in the morning and you're thinking about your day, here's how to do it. Ingrid's like, pick one. We're going to show you one because we're going to make it doable, and then we're going to teach you how you can do the rest. So hang tight. We're going to help you out. We'll build on what's already working. So if you already have a planner you like, or you just really love Post-it notes, or you have a wall calendar or an app, or everyone at work uses this one system and you really like it, anything that's working for you, keep using by all means. We're going to help you build on it. I've never seen a system that couldn't just be adapted to this. So you don't have to like buy a new planner or anything, but I'm just going to show you how we're going to optimize it, because if right now you have any stress around projects or tasks or emails or papers or any of that, then that can be fixed, okay? So last question before we jump into our 4 steps. How many meltdowns or shutdowns have you had in the past 7 days? Now, I think of a meltdown as something like I'm crying, yelling, slamming the door. It's usually Eric's fault. And I'm like, I can't take it anymore. Okay, a shutdown is like, give me sugar and Netflix, and I'm going to pretend like I'm not falling behind, because I just can't deal with that reality anymore if it's too much. Okay, so we're seeing I'm pretty much always a shutdown, stop counting, roller coaster every day, 5, I've been sleeping a lot, 8, 3. I mean, typically about 85% of the people who join us have had at least one. Usually 30 to 40% have had 3 or more. And that's not even counting the ones we wanted to have, but we didn't, okay? And you guys are the ones who actually showed up to a class to do something about it. So really think about how most of the world is doing. It's pretty stressful. However, I want you to know, number one, that this isn't like you're not alone, because you can just see in the text chat, like this is super common. Also, I want you to know that what that means is that you're human and you've reached a limit and your brain can't keep track of all the inputs. So I know whenever I start to have a meltdown or shutdown, because I still do sometimes, it means I'm telling my brain to do too many things simultaneously, and I need to step back and I need to change the way I'm interacting with my brain and my expectations. So this actually goes very much into brain science, and it's exciting, but we're going to show you how on a very practical, simple level, we're going to change that. So now I'm going to make it look like we're teaching a preschool class, but I want to start as simple as possible, like as low tech as you can get with magic markers and paper. I'm going to show you how to make a current projects list. Now you can do it digitally, so I'll show you some options there, but I want you to see This is super easy, and it's not something that you have to have a doctorate to learn how to do. Anybody can do this, even our kids. So let me show you. Most of us don't have focus. Most of us are working on 50 to 100 projects at the same time. Like you look in someone's Trello account or a Kanban board, and there's like tons of projects and they're trying to do everything. Or people don't even have a list at all. They're just running around like a pinball in a pinball machine all day trying to just be busy, but nothing ever gets over the finish line. So this is how we're going to change that. We're going to make a super simple list, and we call it our current projects list. And we organize it into these 3 categories: me, family, and beyond. And I'll show you examples. So a project for me, I need to establish a new exercise routine so I'm actually moving my body every day and not sitting on a desk, okay? For my family, it could be something like, we're going to update the living room furniture because it's been there too long. We need the new couch or whatever. Okay, for beyond, I have a dollar bill to represent paid work. Like I'm creating a new podcast that we're going to launch for our website, or a cupcake to represent volunteer work, like I'm putting on a class or a little activity at the elementary school. Okay, so these are very specific projects that actually have a beginning and an end. Now this is the key, because most people go wrong here. This is what I did wrong. I put routines on this list. So like laundry, dishes, groceries, meal planning, all those things that you do over and over and over again go on a routines list, not on a projects list. Your projects list are like simple current projects lasting for about a month, ideally no more than 7 or 8 total projects. If you want 1 or 2 projects because that's all you can do right now, maybe you have health problems, or maybe you just have a lot of routines, or maybe you're working 3 jobs, just do a couple projects. You don't have to do 7 or 8. But I really encourage you not to go into the 9, 10, 11, 12 up to, people seriously have pages worth of projects. I wouldn't do that, because all that's going to do is paralyze your mind and make you feel overwhelmed. If you get these 7 or 8 done, you can bring in as many as you want. So you can, at the end of the month, if you want to accomplish 50 projects, that's fine. We're just not going to start out with 50 projects. We're going to start out with 7 or 8 and then add from there. Now, if you're thinking, okay, well, what do I do with all the projects that I really need to work on? Like I can't just not do it, but maybe I don't want to do them this month. What do I do with those? You want to brainstorm them all and get them out of your head and put them on a next in line list, but we're not going to keep them on the current list. I want to really distinguish between a current project and a next in line project. That's going to be different. And Eric has a really fun way he shows you how to do it in Excel, so he's going to walk through that.
It is fun. As much fun as you can have in Excel.
I love it.
Before I get to that, I think the most important part of step 1 are these last 2 bullet points April shared. Literally the idea of limiting the number of current projects we're focused on each month down to 8 or fewer will help tremendously, because most of us are working on 10, 20, or even 50 projects. At the same time, we're bouncing back and forth. It's the reason we feel overwhelmed, stressed, and not making much progress. Very few of those projects ever get across the finish line each month. If you'll trust us, we're going to show you today how to get 8 or fewer projects across the finish line every month. That means you'll be getting 96 or more projects across the line every year. You're going to be and feel more productive than you've ever been in your life. And this last idea about brainstorming or mind sweeping all the other projects, everything you want to get to someday, let's get them out of our heads, because they're taking up mental and emotional space. Most people have a list when they write it down of about 200 to 400 projects, and you can see why your mind's kind of frenzied and cluttered and overwhelmed. Once you do a mind sweep, we just encourage you over the next 4 or 5 days, get a piece of paper, a digital note app, or I use Excel, like April said. It's not super fun, but it's a way to capture.
Sorry, I'm answering more questions. Okay, keep going.
Are you with me in the class, my dear?
I'm sorry, I was in the chat. Keep going.
All right. So you can use a paper, a digital note, or Excel, and just make a master list of all the projects you've ever thought you want to get to someday. As you make it, it's going to look overwhelming, too big, but it's not. This becomes the master list you'll look at just once a month, and as new projects come to mind, just add them to this list. But you'll only look at it once a month. Scan over it and pick the first, the top 7 or 8 projects you want to focus on this month. And we're going to show you in the next steps how to get these projects done almost effortlessly as a part of your daily and weekly activities. It really is a way to make things happen. You'll find that the list starts to disappear over the course of the year, and you'll find that you're working more and more on the current projects that mean most to you.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple more examples, then we're going to have you identify a project. Paige is asking a really good question, and a lot of people were saying, yeah, me too. She was saying, what if you just don't feel motivated to actually work on it? We're going to go through step 2, because that's where we're going to teach how to solve that. Okay, so first though, I just want you to be able to actually articulate what your projects are. I'm gonna show you a couple examples. Here's a paper example, me, family, beyond, right? Like apply for passports. Yeah, that's a project. Anything multi-step, that's a project. Or look over here, things like hire a new assistant. That needs to actually be treated like a project and can't just be thrown in there with a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's just have you guys practice. We're just gonna identify one right now. So don't feel like, oh, I have to write down my thousands of projects right now. You don't. Right now, let's just pick one, because if you can see one project going through the path, oh, you're gonna feel so much better. So this could be your biggest pile. It could be taxes. It could be a big event you're planning. But what is that one project right now that's really weighing on you? And it's something that you know if you got it done, you would just feel a lot better, and your home would maybe breathe better, or every day would just, you know, feel a little happier. Like what's that project you're kind of putting off? Okay, so we're seeing taxes, keeping my kitchen caught up, my desk, awesome, Nikki. I'm getting papers organized, paying some back bills, filing, current magazines, bedroom, insurance. A lot of taxes right now. Okay, and that's great. So you guys are doing a really good job. And we have a huge class right now, so I want everyone to type it in. As you kind of look through and see what people are typing in, yeah, you can realize there's a lot that's weighing on you, but usually you can think of like that biggest domino. But if I got this one done, oh my gosh, I would feel so much better. Okay, so we're going to take these awesome ideas you guys have just typed in for your projects through the next 3 steps. If you're not feeling motivated to doing it, if you're feeling paralyzed when you think about it and you don't even know where to start because it overwhelms you, we're going to solve that. Okay, so stick with us. But first, Eric has a little challenge for you. That's Eric, by the way. He's not on video. He's backlit right now.
Because he's ugly and you don't want to look at him. But,
you can just see his picture there.
So it's not so much a challenge, but more of a loving and kindly and loving invitation. So I had April change the slide because I want to feel challenged. I want you to feel invited. I love the projects you guys are picking because clearly this is something that's weighing on you. It's kind of stressing you out. We want to go through these steps today and show you how to get this one done very easily. And then you'll use the same approach to all the other projects you want to tackle. I want to give you the chance, though, now to pick a second project that's a little bit more personally rewarding and uplifting, something to develop yourself. Because most people pick this other project and it's about decluttering, streamlining, organizing, getting a space built that you can work from. And that's a great project, but I want to give you a chance to take a second project that's more fun through the steps with us. To help you pick that second project, I want to give you kind of a scenario to consider. I'd like everyone in the class to imagine that you now already have this system, this command central or whatever you want to call it, established, and it's running the details of your life beautifully. You don't feel like anything's falling through the cracks, you're not dropping any balls or constantly putting out wildfires. All the piles around you, paper or otherwise, they're gone because everything has its place and is generally in it. Your inboxes, your email and physical inboxes are empty or down to 0. And honestly, like everything's maintained by a very simple system you're only checking on a couple times a week. Now I realize this might sound like a pipe dream or a false hope. You're thinking there's no way I could ever do that with my situation. But I promise you it's possible for everyone in the class today, and we're going to show you how to do it. But if that were your reality, if you had a system where all the decks were clear, here's my question. What would be the one current project you would choose to focus on and make real progress on this month from the For Me category? Now maybe it's something you once loved to do earlier in your life, you just set aside because it's become too crazy or busy. Or maybe it's something new at this stage of your life. You'd love to dive into a new class or a talent or a hobby, so explore something to really develop yourself. This should be something rejuvenating, revitalizing, and replenishing. Now, a lot of times it might start off slow or even slow down in the text chat because many people are thinking, well, I don't remember how to think like that. I don't remember what I love to do. Others of you might be thinking, I'm just too busy. I have way too much going on. There's no way I would ever have time or make time to do that. And others of you might be thinking, well, wouldn't that be selfish of me? I have so many other people and their needs I need to take care of before my own. That would just feel selfish. And I would just suggest that far from being selfish, it's importantly self-replenishing. Literally, this becomes a motivator and an energizer to help you want to focus on the other projects that are for other people and other things. And literally, this project can be the smallest of the 8 projects that you pick. It doesn't need to take a lot of your time or energy. And I think the most important part of this For Me project each month is that it becomes a great example and influence on those around you, your coworkers, people in your community, but especially your family, maybe a spouse or your children. They will see you taking time to invest in and develop yourself. They're going to see that example and most likely follow it. So April, you see anything good in the text chat there?
I love it. We're seeing things like gardening, photography, music, yoga. Like this is where real life starts coming back. And the reason why right now you probably don't have this in your life is because you think, well, until my whole checklist is done and until everything is completely organized in my house and everyone's asleep, I actually can't have fun or do anything that I enjoy. But I want you to know that I felt the same way too. But as soon as I got my command central built, my brain then knew everything was safe. And then I started being able to have fun guilt-free. Like I remember the first day my son said, "Hey, Mom, you want to play soccer in the backyard?" And normally I'm like, "Sorry, no, I got too much to do." And for the first time I was like, "Yes, actually I would." And I did and enjoyed it for the first time ever. And that's what I want you to know is totally possible. So we're going to help you guys. And yeah, Tanya's saying, yes, April, the guilt keeps me from doing for me projects because there's always something else. And I get it. But this is where you're actually going to learn to turn off certain parts of your brain and then focus on your family more. And I want you just to think about this question. How would your life change, like really, if both of these projects could just get done quickly, easily, and well? Like if you just knew every time you identified between 2 and 8 projects for the month, that all of them were going to get done consistently because that's just how you work and you know you can do it. Like what would that change for your confidence? What would it change for your family? How would that affect your bottom line? I mean, you just think about that. We're seeing like relief, a boost in my self-confidence. I'd be a better mom, life changer. Yeah, inviting people over, more time for the people I love. I mean, this is what we want, and this is what's at stake. So now I want you paying close attention to step 2 because this is the key right here. Now, the question Paige had asked earlier was brilliant. She was like, what if you don't feel motivated? And that, I think, is such a common question. I think all of us, maybe just raise your hand if you feel like, I just feel like I need to procrastinate because I'm not motivated to do any of it. So I figure out anything I can do. Okay, my whole screen is covered with like everyone saying yes. Like,
or how many of you can make like a super living, retire early if professional procrastination was an awesome paid job category?
I mean, we kind of laugh at it, right? But yeah, like the screen's totally covered. People are like, yeah. We had one person say, I could be the president of the procrastinators club if we ever got around to having a meeting. It just made me laugh. I mean, so really we feel like, okay, I get it. You don't feel like you can do it and you feel paralyzed and overwhelmed, but that's not because you don't have good intentions. And it's not because the project isn't important to you. It's honestly, this is what I think. It's that no one ever taught us how to effectively identify a next action. Because I procrastinated everything, had to overnight things in the mail, had to stay up till 4 a.m. I mean, it was ridiculous. But now that I've learned step 2, I haven't procrastinated in 8 years. And like, that's crazy good for me. So let me show you why, all right? Here's the official definition. A next action is the next specific, visible activity that will lead your chosen project toward completion. But this isn't just, oh, I'm breaking it down into steps, because we all kind of know how to do that. This is the key that most people miss. You're going to boil the next step all the way down, so you couldn't possibly procrastinate, even if you tried. It's like you're going to play a little game with your brain and say, how easy can I make the next step? So it's almost embarrassing to write it down because it feels so simple. But what happens is when our brain sees something written down that looks so doable, we couldn't procrastinate, then our heart gets a little lift and we feel this confidence and we want to do it because then we get that little burst of dopamine like you get when you check something off a list, and our brains are made to actually want to do it. But let me show you the 2 biggest mistakes that stop us from being successful. And this I've learned from past experience and working with thousands of people. Mistake number 1 is that we identify a sub-project instead of a next action, right? So what if I told you my project is to revamp this office, clear out all the old paper, and just give it a nice fresh start? Okay, what if you said, all right, April, what's your next action? And what if I replied, my desk? Because I hear that all the time. Or it's like, I want to clean the kitchen. My next action is the pantry. You hear those sub-projects. Cleaning a desk or a pantry is a sub-project. But let me show you what a next action could be. I'm going to take 10 minutes and organize this top left cubby. So easy, like I can do that, not hard. 10 minutes max, it's going to be totally done. So then you might be thinking, well, 10 minutes isn't going to put a dent into my life. Like if you could see my piles, you would just know 10 minutes wouldn't make a dent. But we underestimate the power of what we can do in 10 minutes, and we totally underestimate the power of what multiple 10-minute bursts will do over time. That's something I know for sure. And so what we're going to do is show you how to really break things down. Now here's mistake number 2. People are really good at identifying a next action sometimes, like they'll make it very specific, but it's the wrong order. It can't be done until something else happens first. So I was talking to this woman who said, I have a dozen boxes of books in my living room and no one can come over because literally there's no room for people to walk in the door. And some of you might be feeling that way. Like, I don't even want to open my door because like I don't want people to see this mess. So I asked her, okay, what's your next action? And she said, order bookshelves. Now that sounds like a next action because you can just open your computer, go to the website and place your order. And that's not that hard. So, but she was procrastinating, and that's how I knew it wasn't her next action, because you don't procrastinate real next actions. So I said, okay, well, can you literally go right now, open your computer and order? And she said, well, first I need to measure the office walls to see which size. So, right, she's getting to the order screen, is asking what size, and she's like, I can't move forward. So I said, okay, can you go right now and can you measure your office walls? And she said, well, I can't find my tape measure. Okay, like story of your life. So what she needs to have on her list is find, buy, or borrow a tape measure. What she has on her list is order bookshelves. Those are two totally separate things, and that's why she was procrastinating, because she didn't have the next action appropriately articulated. Now, Eric likes to use this concept of a Pez dispenser and Pez candies to help us understand how next actions work.
So nobody get distracted by the Pez on your screen. I'm going to come back to them in just a second, but just want to do a quick recap. So back in step one, we had you go over all of the projects that you have, get them out onto a master list. We did that, so that master list will help you scan it to find the current projects you want to work on this month. Here in step two, now with our current projects, we want to help you identify what each project's very next action is, because that's what kills procrastination and gets momentum started on each project. So what I do with step two here, I recommend a very similar brainstorming exercise. I would just say at the beginning of each month, take 15 minutes, grab a sheet of paper, a digital note, and on that piece of paper, just write down each of your 8 projects as headings. And then take the 15 minutes and brainstorm all the action items you can think of that would be needed to get that project done, each of your projects. The list doesn't have to be complete. If you think of something else mid-month, just add it in. And the list doesn't have to be in order or prioritized. It can be in any order. But what doing this will help you do is 2 things. One, you'll see the size of the project, how big or small it really is. And if you're like me, the projects are actually going to be a lot smaller than you've been making them out to be in your head. The other thing it'll do is it'll give you clear visibility on what your very next action is going to be. It'll almost just emerge out of that short list under each heading. I love the Pez here, and I put them on the screen because the Pez dispenser is like each project. So on that piece of paper, you have 8 Pez dispensers. The action steps you brainstormed are like the candy that you load into the Pez dispenser. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty good at loading a Pez dispenser, but I'm even better at emptying out that Pez dispenser, 1 or 2 pieces of candy at a time, take a couple out, eat them, get them done, go back and get it. The great thing about a Pez dispenser is it doesn't let you dump all the candy out and just feel overwhelmed by everything that's coming at you. Same way with our projects. We're going to show you in step 3 how we'll take just the very first 1 or 2 actions from each project, work on them as part of our weekly activities, and before you know it, these Pez dispensers are empty before the month's even over. All 8 Pez dispensers are empty, or by analogy, all 8 projects are done seamlessly and effortlessly. Let me just give you a quick analogy of how it works in our lives. So we've been wanting to take our family on a vacation to Yosemite National Park for years. It's only about 4 hours away, but it seemed overwhelming. All the logistics, reservations, taking a family of 6 with small children up there. So I put it off for years. Well, in June of last year, I decided I'm taking this project-based approach. I'm going to make it one of my current projects for the month. And I just did the same thing. I made it a project. I did the brainstorm. And in the 15 minutes brainstorming this and other projects, I saw that Yosemite only had 8 action items. It was a lot simpler than I've been making it out to be. And as I looked at that list, I saw the very next action emerge. And it was simply to reach out to a few friends, get their advice on where to go, what to do, and where to stay. So I said, that's great. I'll grab my phone, send out 2 text messages and a quick Facebook post. Action 1 done. And with their feedback starting to come back in that afternoon, what I found happening is that in 2 days, I knocked out all 8 of the action steps. 2 days to plan a project or a vacation I've been procrastinating for years. And then later that summer in August, we took a beautiful, amazing 4-day, very inexpensive vacation, one of the best ones we've ever had. And I was kicking myself for not having gotten to it earlier. But I promise you, as you take a project-based approach and boil it down, each project to its very next action, momentum starts, procrastination dies, and great things happen.
All right, let me show you a couple additional ideas. Eric and I needed a logo. We have no graphic design skills, but we just got out some markers. We took 15 minutes sketching out our ideas for a logo. send that to our designer, who then actually created the logo. So simple, right? Or Stephanie was one of our before and afters. She said her before room made her want to hyperventilate. It was seriously just so awful she couldn't even go in. But she said, I just set the timer for 15 minutes. I went in and then I pulled out. Over time, she was able to create this beautiful room. Now, this was just based on what she learned on the webinar. So I want you guys practicing now and just typing into the chat. What is the very next specific visible activity that will lead your chosen project toward completion? I want you to type it in the chat, and I would love it if it could either start with something like 10 minutes doing X, right? Or something like, I'm going to just take the shoes out of my closet and get rid of half, put in a bag. Or I'm going to move some donation bags from the garage into the trunk of my car. Or I'm going to call the accountant and set up an appointment where we can have a discussion. Or I'm going to research something online for 10 minutes. Or I'm going to sit down and brainstorm all the things that I need to do to organize this room on a piece of paper. Like, I want it looking so simple that you're thinking, okay, this is super doable, and that anyone else would look at your task and be like, yes, that's really doable. That's how I want it, okay? I love this. So we're seeing buy color-coded file pouches, okay? Awesome. 10 minutes gathering documents. Just sit down, unload the dishwasher, purchase shelving units. Now, awesome. Now, with purchase shelving units, if you know which ones you want and where you need to buy them, that's ideal. If you don't know which ones you want, you might want to say research how to purchase. Now, there's a great one that came in saying 10 minutes a day going through papers. Now, that's a routine, but you could say I'm going to put the little 10-minute-a-day reminder on my calendar, so every day I have some time set aside to just go through papers. We just want this to be something you can actually check off. Gather donation items, awesome. Now, if you have like hours of that to do, say 10 minutes gathering donation items, something like that. Okay, you guys are doing an awesome job identifying a very specific next action. And now I'd like to show you where we're going to put it. Instead of having a super long list that's just basically a mind sweep, I want you to have a list that's functional. Now, this list we're going to explain right here works in tandem with a streamlined, super simple calendar. I personally just do my calendar on my smartphone, and I have Google Calendar, an iCal with the iPhone, very open. So the only thing on my calendar are actual appointments I have today, and I just have a few, and then tasks that have to be done that day I write in my planner on my little planner page, and I can show you guys later if you want to see it. We keep it super, super simple so that your calendar is white space. Then you're going to organize tasks by where you are when you're getting them done. So for example, in this home context, I would say something like clear out the top left shelf of the pantry. Or errands would say something like, I'm going to go purchase the colorful file folders at Sam's Club. They're $25 and I need 1 box. To discuss, talk with Eric about when we should do our next camp out as a family. Phone call the realtor and find out when is the best time to list our house. Or computer, print out the paperwork I need for passports. Now, there's lots of digital options for this list. If you want to just start simple, a paper list with those 5 contexts works. You could also do something like Remember the Milk, Cozy, To Do, Pocket Informant, Asana, Wunderlist, Toodle-Do, Trello. Like, there's lots of options, so don't want you to feel overwhelmed by it. But Eric uses a digital list on his phone from Evernote.com. It's a free app. He's going to share how he does that, and then we'll invite you guys to share which context your next action is in.
Yeah, we love Evernote. We'll make sure it's really clear as we teach the class that whatever approach you like to use, go ahead and use that. If you're a paper and planner person like April, that's great. If you like digital notes and apps like I do, that's fantastic. Or even a mixture of the two. The 4 steps, the principles we're teaching today, can be used with whatever system, whatever approach works best for you. I love Evernote. It's a digital note app, kind of a digital filing cabinet, extremely powerful. There's a free basic version that can do all the things that you'll ever need to do with what we're teaching here. So it's a great tool, but there are lots of others. I have a note, just like April described in my Evernote, called Next Actions, just like her paper list, and it has the same 5 contexts. And this idea of making it a next actions-based list, it isn't a to-do list, right? Because to-do lists, in my mind, are a long, overwhelming list, disorganized, maybe 30 things that we only get 4 or 5 done. Then we feel guilty or frustrated, copying them over day after day, never really making much progress. When you think of this list as more of a choice list, what you'll choose to do when moments of time pop up, organized by the context you're in, it is such a liberator, right? And a lot of us have been taught to organize our projects or our tasks by category, and that doesn't really make a lot of sense. You know, like home and school and work and church and community. That's where the task came from. It's not where we're going to be when we need to get it done. So as we take our very next action, that first 1 or 2 piece of Pez from each project, and put it under its associated context. And then you can layer in any single action items that need to happen from day to day, but you can pop them in here. Then when a window of time pops up, you'll know exactly how to use it focused and well. So 10 minutes pops up and you've got a phone or a computer with you and it's relatively quiet. You know what phone calls you need to make, or you know what computer work needs to get done without being distracted by the internet. 20 minutes opens up and you're at home, work on the home actions. Even if it's a little chaotic, maybe you can involve the people around you to help get some of those actions done. But it's such a game-changing way of looking at how we use these gaps of time that pop up. And they pop up for all of us. Even the busiest among us have little unexpected windows of time that pop up for us. And that's how you almost effortlessly fit these projects into the daily life and the activities that you have. And we get them across the finish line every month. It's totally possible. Let me give you a real-world example from our lives. So we have a son who practices basketball across town with his team for about an hour and a half each week. I dropped him off one day and I looked at this note on my phone while I was in the parking lot. And I saw that there were some errands that I could run in that part of town, about 3 errands in that area. I'm like, great, I'll take advantage of being here and the time that I have. But because I was organized in this way, I also could see that I had 4 phone calls that I needed to make, again, related to various projects I was working on that month. But those 4 people would all be available during that time of day. And so I put my earpiece in, drove around, ran the 3 errands while I made the 4 phone calls. I was getting a lot of stuff done with that found hour of time. And the best part was I was able to make it back to my son's practice with about 20 minutes to spare, watch him finish up his practice, and then talk with him and hang out with him on the drive home. And it was great. But this, of all 4 of the steps we're going to teach, has been the biggest game changer for me because I'm able to make real significant headway in the projects that I value, but it doesn't require me to invest any more time or effort than I was investing already. It's taking better advantage of these found windows of time that pop up in our days. So hope that's helpful to you.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you're feeling like, I'm going to go through a few more details about context-based list. I'm also going to show you guys how a routines list works in a second, because Ingrid made a great comment. She was like, I feel like I'm always cleaning. How can I ever actually move projects forward? When you have a solid routines list in place, which is where Fly Lady helped me a ton, the solid routines list combined with the next actions list and a streamlined calendar, that's the trifecta. So I'll show you more about that a little bit later on. Let me show you a little bit more about next action. Sorry, I'm going to zip back for one more slide. Okay, so this is one list that's used per week that includes the tasks for all the projects you're working on that week. Now, this list can also include one-step tasks. So if you're like, oh, I've got to drop a book by a friend's house, you put that under errands. If you're like, oh, I need to get something off the computer, stick it under computer, okay? Now, these are not calendar specific. That's what's great about this list. So you're going to have a streamlined calendar of things you have to do. You're going to have routines running on autopilot. Then you have this list of options you can do when you're in the appropriate context. If anything on this list has a deadline, you're going to put that on the calendar so that your calendar is the only thing you have to look at. Then your routines and your next actions will be supporting that, okay? So at this point, let's just go ahead and practice putting here in the text chat, where are you going to be when you're doing your next action? So if it's something like taxes and your next action is going onto your bank's website and printing off some statements, that would be computer, obviously, right? If it's something like, I just need to empty the dishwasher, or I just need to go into that laundry room and just clear off the dryer, then that would be home, right? Okay, so we're seeing that living room, home office, computer, home. Okay, awesome. You guys are doing a great job. We're going to go now into step 4 because this is how your day is going to work. When you wake up in the morning, you're first going to look at your calendar to see what you have for the day. My goal for you is that your calendar looks open. You don't feel overwhelmed, right? Because there really aren't that many appointments. Typically, even the busiest CEO has some flexibility in their calendar. Then you're going to work by context. So for example, while my kids are at school, I'm working on the computer. When I'm making phone calls, I'm grouping phone calls. When the kids are home and they're having their snacks, I'm doing home stuff. So we're going to really make sure we're only working by the super specific list, looking at the time you have and the energy you have, okay? So you're going to balance that. The reason why priority is last is because you're prioritizing only what's in the context. So when I'm running errands, I'm not prioritizing computer work. I'm only prioritizing the errands. So let's go ahead. I just want us to look just at these 4 steps, okay? Don't think about everything else in your life right now. Just focus on these 4 steps. So today, you could sit down and make a current projects list. Maybe it's establishing a better laundry routine. Maybe it is figuring out how to renew your resume so you can get that job. You're also then going to effectively identify a next action for each one, and then create a context-based list where we're going to actually put those next actions so they feel doable and you think, oh, I could actually move forward. Then we're going to work each day by context, time, energy, and priority. Now, I know I've given you a lot of information, and for some of you, it's like learning a new language. Others of you are like, I've already been kind of organized. This is just locking it into place. So wherever you are on the spectrum, these 4 things, though, can be done right away. I'm going to give you a replay, and I'm giving you the slides, and I'm not asking right now if you have this memorized. I'm just asking, do you feel hopeful? Do you feel like you can at least see a light at the end of the tunnel, even a faint light, to go from feeling overwhelmed by this one specific pile or this one specific project and being able to actually get this even moving forward? Okay, so we're seeing a lot of absolutely, I feel better already, encouraged, it's doable. Some people are going to be like, I don't know, like a faint light, a little bit, and that's okay. Now, here's the thing. For some of you, this is going to be enough. You're like, you know what, I'm going to apply these 4 steps, and that's good for me. But others of you are going to say, okay, well, I'm ready for more mental clarity. I like where you're going. I want to know how to build the rest of the command central. I want to work with you. I want you to show me how to get rid of every pile in my life. Like, can you teach me how to do this? If that is you, we have a program where we can serve you better, which is called Steps to Everyday Productivity. This is our STEP program. Now, we're going to invite you to check out the programs to see if it's the right fit for you. My job is not to sell programs. My job is to help you know if this is what you're looking for to solve this problem and get out of the drowning. And we know everybody's different, so we have a self-study and a mastery. Mastery is where the party is, where it's more communication, it's more coaching, it's a group. And self-study is literally like do it yourself, and we'll give you the instructions, okay? But I want you just thinking inside your own mind, like, how long do you think it takes to get organized? Because most people think like infinity, a year, I don't know, forever. We hear that all the time. But what if I told you I could walk you through these 8 modules and guarantee your success in 15 to 20 hours self-paced, which realistically could be done in a couple of weeks, because I'm going to show you these 8 modules and how that actually works. Module 1 is where I'm going to show you how to just make time and create some space for yourself. I didn't have an office when I started, but I had a little card table we had in our garage, so I brought it into the corner of my bedroom, gathered a few little boxes and things I had around the house. This was my first one. People have sent me photos of theirs, and it's exciting to see how a command central can look totally different for everyone. It can be all digital, so if you're like in a tiny apartment and you have no space, you can still have a command central. And if you have a gorgeous office, like I love this dream office someday, right? But we work with what we have. Module 2 is getting emails to 0, because very few people know the thrill of living out of inbox 0. If you are spending any time trying to use your email inbox as a to-do list, or if your emails are like in the thousands, we're going to show you how amazing it feels not to bulk delete, but to actually set up filters and rules and learn how to make it work. And then module 3 is collecting your tools. I'm going function first, but it can be beautiful. And module 4 helps you actually create your system, where it's like the Lego instruction manual. I have studied this for seriously years and years and for thousands of hours so that I can help you to do it fast. So if you want a paper one, great. If you want it digital, great. Like, I know how to help you to make that work. And then module 5 is gathering your stuff. And this is where it might get a little emotional, because you're going to actually start putting things in boxes and baskets and saying, okay, we're going to go through this. We're going to make this pile go away, and we're going to get that ready for you. And then module 6 is where we teach you how you accommodate that fire hose. This is a flow chart that's going to teach you how to use your machine. This flow chart shows you how to take any pile and put it into your command central in a way that really feels good in your mind and helps you feel more calm and calm and calm as you go forward. It's like learning to drive a car, so you have to like pay close attention, and this is like we're teaching your brain a new way to work. But now I can get my inbox to 0 in 15 minutes, and we'll show you how to do the same. And then module 7 is scheduling a weekly review, because just like a car needs maintenance, so does your command central. We're going to teach you how to do that. Now, people are asking about routines list. I know Ingrid was asking about routines, feeling like she's always cleaning. Here's an idea of how you can take household routines or routines for work or routines for your family and get them on autopilot, because we don't want them on our calendar and we don't want them on our to-do list. So it's something like daily, weekly, monthly, twice a year, and yearly across the top, with categories like home stuff, personal stuff, family. This is where you're going to start to have like self-care, things you might be doing for church or the community. So this routines list, like she has it posted right up here, that puts these things on autopilot. I use mine in Evernote, and I have a link inside the program to my exact list if you want to see it. And then module 8 is completing your projects and dreams. And the question that I ask these people, and I'm asking you, is do you feel there's something unique you're meant to do to help other people, but you can never get to it because you're overwhelmed by stuff? Do you feel like you are meant to either volunteer or maybe be a coach, or there's a book inside of you, or you'd love to record a CD, or maybe just not be stressed and crazy all the time so your family can get to know the real you that used to be a fun person, but who's just like inundated? Because this is where we get excited thinking, holy cow, if I could make this happen in my life, what would that do for me?
And this is my very favorite part of the class. Whenever we're able to teach it, I love getting to this last and 8th module because, yes, we've taught you 4 steps to help get a better handle on your projects, to get more organized and feel like you've got momentum, and you'll get that. And also, April's talked about these 8 modules to build a system, a command central that will help really move your life ahead. But we're not doing these things for effectiveness or productivity's sake. We're doing it so we can really get the results of this 8th and final module, which is to complete our projects and really our dreams, the things that we care most about. Because yes, as you learn and do these things, you'll become a master processor. You'll become an email ninja. Those are great side benefits. But what we really want to help you be able to do is streamline your life, streamline the things that you have to do, like taking care of your personal needs, taking care of your home and family's needs, doing your work well so you can provide for your family, but streamlining all those things so you're able to do them in a way that leaves you more time, energy, and margin in your life to focus on the things that really matter most to you. And by things, we mean the relationships, the people, the causes, the dreams that you have. Because if you were able to build this system and have it run in a way where it only takes about an hour to maintain it every week, but it gives you back 10 extra hours, open hours a week, 10 hours a week, not a month, what would you do with those hours? How would you use the talents, gifts, and abilities you've been given or that you've worked hard to develop in your life to find greater self-fulfillment, but also to serve and to inspire, to lift other people around you, to make the world where you are a better place? A lot of times people refer to this as their mission, their ministry, their purpose, their calling. However you're thinking of it, maybe just take a moment, and if you're feeling a little courageous, just take a second and share in a few words or a sentence. How would you use that time, those gifts and abilities, with that availability that you have to make a difference and really grow forward in life?
Well, and a question just came in saying, can you have a job and still do this? And yes, absolutely. That's actually the whole point, is that we want to help you to be able to see you can take even a half an hour a month to start moving forward on the things that are important to you. And I love what we see here, like volunteering with the deaf community, having more time for fun, having people over and not be embarrassed. Absolutely.
I was going to say, we have a lot of people in the class. If you're feeling a little courageous, just share with us, to everyone, what is it you would do with those extra hours in your life? How would you make yourself, how would you go forward, and how would you make a difference in the world?
And I love what's coming in. I mean, and this is our why we do this, because I love helping you be an email ninja. I want your whole house clean and streamlined, but it's because I want you to be able to utilize your skills. So thank you guys for sharing this. Now, just logistically, if you're thinking, well, okay, do I need an online program to show me how? You might not. I'm not 100% sure for you, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. So every module has a specific goal at the top with bite-sized lessons. I know that you're drowning, so I'm not going to give you an hour of stuff to do every day. I'm giving you like 5 minutes. You can do 5 to 10 minutes. Even the busiest person has 5 to 10 minutes. And we practice what we preach, so that this is like the Pez dispenser with the next actions already in the right order. You can come into the program, do 1 lesson, and it's like a little video with a transcript. We've made it super easy for you. I'm going to show you the nuances of all the rest of the Command Central. I can't emphasize enough how this is going to alleviate the stress that's in your life. Remember, today we covered these 2. I'm going to show you how to use the rest, how to make sure you don't go wrong when you're using them. We've got worksheets for you, audios, videos. Like, we've made it so easy so that you feel like, holy cow, this is simple training that not only works for someone who's, maybe just starting college, but also can work for the busiest CEO and will help you to know how to do that. Now, that's the self-study program. If you want additional support, that's where Step Mastery comes from. You don't need to memorize this chart. This will be on the join page if you're interested in that. We'll also email it to you, so you can just check it out if you want. But let me show you. Here are the comparisons, like as far as they both have the 8 steps, they both got videos and audios, checklists. But let me zoom in now on where Mastery gives you more support. It's not more stuff to go through, but it's more support. So there's an all-access license for a spouse. You guys get to do this together if you would like, which is fantastic. And there's been great success with couples already. There's also an exclusive Facebook group where you get to come in and see what people are posting, because this isn't just me. This is literally thousands of people who are doing this alongside of you, showing what they're creating and reporting back. Like Amy, she's in a master's program. She has 2 children and she works full time. She shares this awesome day and she's like, all of this with no stress. I'm not even finished with the modules yet. This is where people just like you and me who just wanted to be able to do life better are coming in and finally getting rid of piles and having clean, flat space without hiring a professional organizer, which literally would cost you thousands of dollars. And this room I love because look, there's nothing really different in the room. It's all the same materials, the same furniture. But look, now there's a command central. You build a command central, it's going to radiate into the rest of your lives where you will be pile free. So excited for you. Like, it's so doable. Now, Step Mastery also has some supportive coaching emails to onboard you and 3 live group coaching calls. The first 3 months during the program, you come in and you get to submit your questions. We answer them, and if you can't make it live, we still answer them and give you the time-stamped recording. We have a special webinar-only bonus called the Step Library. A lot of people have more questions like, well, what about my digital files and digital photos? Or what if I have tons of projects? Or what if I just want to declutter? So we've taken those tasks or those ideas and taken them deeper in the Step Library. Additional tutorials, and those are available only through this webinar offer if you decide to join Step Mastery. I'll show you more about that in a minute. Here's a few things that are in the library though, like Create Your Day. That's in the library, but today that's your special gift because you came, and that will arrive to you in a couple of hours via email. Template and audio I hope you'll love because it's about making your day really more deliberate, which is awesome. And then we have Building a Step System for Kids, where if you have children and you want to teach them how to be totally organized and streamlined, we're going to help you learn how to keep track of their homework, their projects, and the routines they're doing at home. Also, this 7-step plan to organize the home and office, it's an audio and a template that takes the best decluttering books out there, makes it super doable as a project, and shows you how to incorporate it with your step system and your command central. And then Evernote tips for step success. We love Evernote. It's a free app that we absolutely use every day, and we've built the entire step system inside Evernote, so you can just save the templates to your own account and then you can be good to go. So here's that comparison chart again, just so you can kind of see here's what it looks like. And we have one more bonus that I want to tell you about. If you would like to be one of the first 10 people who join Step Mastery today, you'll receive an additional self-study program for a friend. So if you join Step Mastery and you get all the support with the Facebook group, the Q&A calls, you have a friend who's now an accountability partner who will come and join you. So we'll show you how that works. Now, and I'll explain how you can get that, but it'll be in your account when you purchase. As we jump into pricing, I want you just to think about the cost of being disorganized. Because when you live in a place that just has piles, you don't mean to, but money's just slipping through the cracks, like overdue fines for library books or late fees on bills or wasting gas. You learn how to create that command central, that's going to be huge for you, where now you're going to seal the cracks of the money that's just being taken away. Also, I want you thinking about benefits to having a seamless system, because if you do have a system in place, now you don't have piles anywhere. Could you build that business? Could you finally get that certification? Could your life change in a powerful way?
Well, I just got to share a very private to panelist comment that just came in. Beautiful. She said, not sure I want to share this, but I am starting to cry at the thought of how successful I know I could be. My adult children, special needs, are who I feel keeps me daydreaming and procrastinating. I know God isn't finished with me yet, and I hope this is a step toward my awesome future.
I love that.
That
and really,
is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm just so glad that all of you are here making this work. Now, whether it's you applying the 4 steps today, you can be successful doing that. If you want to go deeper with us, we're going to show you how the program works. You can put any questions, private panelist or Q&A. We'll leave the chat open as well. But if this isn't the right fit for you right now, either time-wise or price-wise, really no stress, totally okay. Use what you learned today and apply it. But here's our special webinar offer that's good for about 48 hours. hours, okay? Now, you can always join at full price, $247 and $497 on our website, but if you want to come in and join at the best prices and the best bonuses we'll ever offer, we've sent you a link to your email right now. It's an expiring link that's good through Friday night. And Eric's going to put a link in the text chat that will take you to the join page that shows the comparison chart of the two programs. Helps you know if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I totally want this. We're going to help you come right in. You get immediate access today. You can come start right now. The whole program's built and ready for you. Now, remember, if you want to be one of our first 10 who join Mastery, you'll receive the free self-study for a friend. That's a $247 value, totally free, that you can give to someone you love, and you can do this together. So that's available for the first 10. Some of you won't be concerned about that. You just maybe want to think about it or get the best pricing, which the best pricing is good through Friday night. So you don't have to decide right now. But if you're thinking, oh, I already know I want it, might as well get the fast action bonus, and let me show you our refund policy and all that too. Now, you don't have to pay all at once today. You can do one payment today. We don't charge anything extra. We literally divided it. So we took $197 divided by 3. We took $397 divided by 6. So you have 3 payments or 6 payments, and it's about $67 today. Now, let me explain our 60-day money-back guarantee. I don't want you coming in if you have no intention of doing it. If you're like, you know what, I'm actually okay with the piles. I'm okay living like this. It's really not a big pain point for me. I'm pretty good how I am. Then this isn't for you. But if you're like, I'm drowning, I'm tired of it, I don't want to be a procrastinator, I'm ready to change my life, we've given you 60 days where we give you immediate access to everything. We don't hold anything back, so we really trust you. You get to come in, have access to all of it, and then if it doesn't work for you, you can totally get your money back. I want you to feel really safe at this point and just know, like, we're here to take care of you. You can have upgrades and downgrades. Eric, do you want to take this one and talk about the upgrades or any other?
Yeah, I was going to say we have a couple of questions coming in. So just to make sure it's really clear, like we didn't intend for the monthly payment price to be the exact same between the two programs, but literally for $67 today, and then the monthly payments of 3 months for self-study or 6 months for Mastery, you could come into either program for $67. What we encourage people to do is to come into Mastery, because the monthly price to start today, you get full and immediate access to all program resources under either program. So if it were me, I would come in under Mastery, because you have a 60-day money-back guarantee where you can put all of the resources of this bigger and better program into practice. You can come into our Facebook group, be able to be part of that community and see the support, the encouragement, the coaching there. You can come in and see all the resources in the STEP library that are ready for you when you're ready for them. And you'll also be able to participate in the first 2 live Q&A calls. So you've got this ability to really get a feel for the whole STEP Mastery program. And if you're not elated and totally in love with the results that are happening for you, the way your life's moving forward, the system that you've built and the results it's giving you, just seeing yourself moving toward your projects and dreams, if you're not totally elated with that within the 60 days, you can absolutely let us know. You'd either like to downgrade to the do-it-yourself, just the basic STEP self-study program, or ask for a full refund. Now, we actually have next to no one who asks for the downgrade. You can always upgrade or downgrade within the first 60 days if you start with self-study, but the best deal is coming into Mastery straight away. You get the very best price, and you get full and immediate access. We have next to no one who downgrades, and we have a lower than 2% refund rate on the programs, because if people will come in and they're committed to putting in just a little bit of energy consistently over those first couple of weeks to build the system, we promise we'll get you success, we'll help you get those results. And it's amazing to see the stories, the success stories that come in. Now, a couple of things just to understand. Well, one other thing I was going to say, if you're considering this and it makes it a little bit more affordable, we've made these monthly payment options available to you at no extra charge. I just don't like when people add additional cost by making you go monthly. We just took the amounts and divided them straight by 3 or by 6 to get that monthly price. Also, if you're a self-employed or an entrepreneur, have an LLC or a home-based business, we would encourage you to think about this. And we're not giving tax or accounting advice, but you could consider this a professional expense, something deductible for your business, because we promise with the STEP program, we're going to help you get tremendous productivity and profitability gains in your business, as well as you get the cool side benefits of some personal and family development and growth as well. If your spouse is employed, or if you or your spouse are employed by a company, we've had a lot of people have success getting full or partial reimbursements for the program, because again, many companies have a training and development budget or expense account they can reimburse employees for ongoing professional development. So just a couple things to consider if that helps make it more a possibility or attainable for you. And then just one last thing I'll say is we just want to encourage people, if they have questions or needs about anything we've shared today, either the 4 steps that we taught or these 2 programs that April's outlined, any questions about things organizational or productivity, ask away, because we're here to help you. So I've seen a lot of people excited, some great questions coming in.
Yeah,
I'm going to go over and just start welcoming
guys.
people and letting you know if you're one of our first 10 in the mastery program, letting you know if you've got that free self-study for a friend. So just ask away. We're here to help and support.
Okay, so excited for you guys who are already coming in the program, and Eric will do a little welcome. And we're here to just help answer questions at this point. Even if you have other questions about the 4 steps we covered, totally great. We're just here to help you. Our job is to help you know if this is the right fit. If you're like, oh my goodness, this is what I want. We're going to show you how you're going to come in and literally, like, this is the kind of thing we see popping up in our Facebook feed every day. People are showing us, look at what I've just done. I've taken my big pile where I couldn't even sit down to creating this beautiful location where I can just relax.
Yeah, so I wanted to do a quick welcome to the following individuals. So we've got Cashley, we've got Diana, we've got Angela, Jill, and Teresa so far.
Welcome, you guys.
So I think 4 of those bought the mastery, 1 person's on self-study. So for you bought the mastery, you get that free self-study for a friend. Honestly, it's a great resource because you get to come in and change your life in a dramatic way, but you also get to now have a built-in accountability partner, someone who's close to you, a friend, a neighbor, a family member. You as a mastery member will have the access to that Facebook group and all the mentoring, coaching, and accountability, the support that's there. But then you also get this cool benefit of someone close to you. And then also, you're going to change your life, but you're also going to change their life dramatically. They're going to love you forever if they don't love you already. And it'll just be awesome to watch you both build your systems, start working on your current projects, and watch how you're both knocking things out of the park in a way maybe you've never thought possible.
I love this. I'm super excited for you guys. Okay, some really good questions are coming in. I have a lot of questions coming in, so I'm going to help answer that. Some people are asking, how do I order? There's either a link in your email that you can use, or we just added the link to the text chat. If you're on a mobile device, the links aren't hyperlinked here in our Zoom text chat, so that's not exactly how it works. Candy says she's signing up for Mastery, wants to be in the first 10. There's room for you, and we'll make sure that you get that, Candy, so no stress. Come on in. Super excited for you. Okay.
And I'll drop the link in again in case you should have gotten an email about 20 minutes ago in your inbox. That email has a link to come over to the information and purchase page. If for whatever reason you didn't get that, I just put it in the text chat there. The page this will take you to is the exact same information and purchase opportunities that the email had. In fact, it's the same information. We just put it into an email, so it deliver that way as well. So if you didn't get the email, you're not missing anything. You can click on that link or write it down and type it into a browser if you're on a mobile. That'll work right for you. It'll pull the page up. It'll make sure you get the discounted pricing, all the bonuses, including that free self-study for a friend if you're buying Mastery.
And someone was saying that they were trying to sign up. It wouldn't let them do 6 payments, but then they did get it to work. We found sometimes with Chrome, things will stick a little bit. You like, you might have to push it a couple times. Safari and Firefox seem to work really well. Also, on the page where you selected the 6 payments, there's a link to another form if like that form doesn't work, because sometimes with different browsers there have been some issues. So we put a little backup link on the page so you can use that if you want to as well. Okay, I'm up here just some. I'm gonna actually put my screen share going again. There was a great little testimonial that was shared by Shelly. So she's in our Facebook group, and I just want to share a little bit about how this works with the bottom line, because she had come in and she had some credit card payments, and normally she had late fees, but she wasn't looking at her calendar because her calendar looked overwhelming. Because she'd set up her Command Central and her calendar was in Streamline, she's like, now I'm actually checking my calendar and score no late fees. I'm starting to feel a teensy bit triumphant. Then she's like, I just came back to say Steph has caused me to dodge another financial bullet. She explains the story here. You can kind of read through that. But she says, so far, I've caught over $365 worth of leakage because I'm keeping my inboxes clean. That just about pays for the program. And I was so excited to be able to hear this from her. We actually find that people who come in the program, and we can't promise this for everyone, but they find money. It's actually kind of like crazy. People are like, oh, I just found these gift cards. I found a check I never cashed. I found dollar bills that I had put into random things. I think the biggest one we ever saw was someone who said, my mother-in-law set up a trust fund for our son for $17,000, never told us, and it was in a box of her stuff that we had just had. So if they hadn't gone through that box, like, they wouldn't have known there was $17,000 waiting there for them, which, you know, can't guarantee that's going to happen for everybody, but it's really amazing how much money actually is stuck or hiding, or, you know, just don't know it's there. I'm going to show you a few additional things and help you see how to bring your free friend on who gets a self-study program. And I just want to share this quote by Amy Porterfield briefly. Has a big...
So real quick, before you do that, we have got a boatload of people. We are now going to, and just welcome. We are so excited. Like there's such a great response. We realize that you've probably known us for less than an hour and a half on this call. You've known about us maybe for less than a week.
Yeah.
We hope that as you've gotten to know us, as we've trained and taught and shared some things, you can see we're real people, down-to-earth people. Like we've got real lives, weaknesses, challenges. We're parents, got a family of 4, just live a normal life. But we've got a couple of systems that have worked. April's been great at developing these things for herself to solve her own pain point. But she's really good at taking complex concepts, distilling them down into a simple, bite-sized, visual, very focused way, like almost like handheld coaching to give people real results. She's been doing this for about 9 or 10 years, and she's never had to rebuild the system. She just maintained it simply. And I'm just amazed at how much she's able to do. Not that it's about how much she can produce, but that she can get all the things done she cares about without feeling like she's overstretched or overdrawn. So just wanted to welcome. We just had a whole bunch more people come to the Mastery Program. So we're going to need to extend it to the first 15. We want to make sure if you want this program, you want your friend to be with you, we want to accommodate that. So I wanted to welcome Laura Lee, Amanda, Lucinda, Ingrid, Larissa, Christy, and Paige into the program. And I've been talking for a minute or two, so I need to refresh and make sure I'm not missing anybody. But all of you have bought the Mastery Program. We wanted to just welcome you into it. So excited to hear your success stories. And just want to let you know you've got that free self-study for a friend, so be thinking about who you want to share that with. And anyone else has questions or needs, ask away. We're here to support, answer, help. And one other thing I'll say quickly, if buying a program isn't the right fit for you today from a life circumstance, a time, or a financial situation, we don't want you to feel sad or feel like, oh, I'm missing out or I'm not able to do what I need to do. I completely encourage every person listening to the class today to take these 4 steps and resolve to put them into practice today, because they will put a tremendous framework underneath you. You will be amazed the results, the progress you'll get with just the 4 steps and this Create Your Day resource that we're sending out later today. But if you feel like you've enjoyed how we've taught, you feel like this would be a great community, you've liked how you felt in the text chat, it's kind of a microcosm of how that Facebook group feels, and just being able to be supportive with this very simple system that we promise will get you results. We'd love to have you come into a program with us.
Could you check Larissa? She says she's getting an error when she signed up, so just want to make sure it didn't come through.
Yeah, so Larissa, it looks like it went through.
Oh, it did go through. Okay, so Larissa, Larissa, you are good. You're in.
You should be getting a confirmation email. It usually takes our system about 3 to 5 minutes to generate your ID, your password, and send it out to you by email. So if you don't see something within 5 minutes of your purchase, you can always respond to us at email@learndobecome.com. And either we or Danielle, our amazing assistant, will get right back to you and get it squared away. But it looks like your purchase went right through.
And Cindy has a special message. So sweet, Cindy. Okay. So if Eric, you want to look at that and check that out. Elisa wants to know if hers went through.
Lisa.
Okay.
And we'll go through.
And thank you to all of you. And I hope all of you feel just really good about the class today. Our goal is to make this class something you can come to and be like, I just learned some new skills today. I'm going to apply it. I don't want you to feel like these 4 steps aren't like super applicable.
Yeah, real quick, and then I'll let you back there. So Lisa, I haven't seen yours come through unless you used a different name. I see a Larissa, but no Lisa per se. But also wanted to welcome in Natalia. It's spelled Nath Aaliyah. We have a daughter named Aaliyah. So the last 4 letters is our daughter's name. So Natalia or Nathalia, and Patricia and Jean or Jeannie. So just wanted to welcome you in. Welcome to Mastery. We are going to be so excited to work with you and take care of you. My favorite part of the program is hearing people's success stories as they share them in our Facebook group, or saying we get daily emails that come in. And it's not so much just the photos of people showing how they've transformed a physical space or a room. What I really love are the narratives that come in, talking about how their lives are different or better, how a marriage or relationship has been strengthened or even saved, how they're closer together with their children as a family, and how they're pursuing interests, passions, dreams that they've been putting off for years because they have the mental and the time availability to go out and do things they've dreamed about doing. So just so excited to have you with us.
Someone with LA as the username saying, I'd like Mastery. I can't do it from a phone. She has a good friend adopting 3 little kids with a very busy life that could use organization. So we want to help her get into
so I'll come over and I'll start doing that text chat. And welcome to Susan.
Yeah.
She just came in as well. So
excited.
I will stop talking. I will start answering.
Now, we did extend the free self-study to a friend for the first 15 because we have a huge response. Super excited for you today. Those of you who want to think about it too, you don't have to decide right now. This program is well worth what you'll pay if you don't do the free self-study for a friend. It's just kind of a special bonus that we thought, you know what better way for you to now be a trainer and a learner at the same time. And that's actually the picture we have right here in front of us. This was Jabenta. So she came in, she got the free self-study for a friend for her sister, and look what she did. I mean, and she's done this literally in every room of her house. You come in the Facebook group, find her. Seriously amazing. She's taken pictures from all these different areas that were like piles, and now she has them totally organized. It looks like a professional organizer just went through her whole house and redid it, but she did it. It's just that she didn't know how to do it before. And now she's like dialed in and got it going. Her sister also just had a few questions, and Jabenta took those questions to the Facebook group, which was awesome. Lisa said she took it out with PayPal. Are you going to go back?
Okay, I'm working out with her, just trying back and forth there. So welcome to Susan and Teresa. And someone was asking, I think it was a public message to Snipes, did I make the first 15? Yeah, so if you actually purchased the program, you bought the mastery program, you're hearing your name, or you've made that purchase, it'll be one of our first 15. We're probably going to need to extend it because we've got people asking questions, really excited about mastery. So if you're interested, ask the questions. We'll make sure you're well taken care of. And yeah, everyone who's purchased mastery at this point, we're going to make sure you get that free self-study for a friend.
It'll be in your account.
In addition to all the other bonuses that we've talked about as being part of mastery. So excited for you.
There's a lot more questions in the Q&A as well. So I'm just going to share a little bit more. I had a question asking a little bit more about lifetime access, or if you have to pay any other fees in the future. You don't have to pay once you've done your complete payment. So if you did, for example, if you came into Mastery and you wanted to do $397 today, or your 6 payments of about $67, once you're done with that, that's it. We also give you this lifetime access as we're continually making improvements. Like, we really listen to the community. In fact, we just hired on a new assistant who was one of our customers or community members. She knocked it out of the park and was doing such a great job. She's now our assistant who's helping people onboarding, helping show people how to be successful, because she's revolutionized her life, which is so fun. And so as we're continuing to make improvements and making the program better and better, you get all of that. We're not charging you annual updates. We're not charging you monthly. Even if we start doing that for the future, you're grandfathered in. So I just want you to know, like, when you come in, we really take care of you. We do change our pricing and bonuses, so this is the best we'll ever have. If you want to come back to us in the future, you totally can. We're not going anywhere. In fact, we're getting ready to launch a Step Professional version. Like, there's a lot of really fun stuff coming in the future. It's just that the pricing will never be better than it is right now. So if you're like, oh, I really want to just lock in the best pricing and bonuses, now's the time for that. But if you want to wait till later, we will always give you the best that we have. But right now, this is the best, and it will never get better. So we just want you to feel total confidence. Like, you joined today, we're taking care of you from this point forward, and you're grandfathered into any other improvements. Let me just clarify the bonuses, because people are like, wait, what do you get if you're the first 15? So we're going to help you with that. And another question saying, this is the only free webinar. No, we'll have future classes in the future, but of course, future classes. We'll have future free classes, but if you would like to join a program, this is the best pricing for the program. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you're interested in joining the self-study, because really you're like, I'm just a do-it-myself kind of person, I don't really need Facebook group or the Step Library or anything extra, that's fine. You can join with the link we sent you. It's an expiring link, but it works through Friday night. So you can just think about it and watch the replay that's coming in a little bit. If you just want the best pricing and that Step Library for Mastery, that's great too. You can wait till Friday. And I buy online programs all the time. I've gone either way. Sometimes I just really want to think about it. I'm not sure. I don't want to be pressured. Totally fine. That's how we set this up for you. So you can kind of take a step back. You can think about it. But sometimes I'm like, I need this. I can't wait. I might as well get a free bonus or whatever it is that they're offering, especially when there's a money back guarantee, because I'm the kind of person who actually will utilize things.
Yeah, we've literally built this so there's a no risk to it all. It's a risk-free option. You come in, you start the program today. We don't drip the content out over the 6 months that you're making those payments. We trust you. We give you full and immediate access to all the program resources with that $67 payment. If you full pay and then single pay or 6 payments, you get full and immediate access. We trust you to be able to share it with a friend. We want you to come in. We want you to get the results you want. And we want to help enable and empower you to get that from day one. So there is no risk whatsoever. You have those 60 days. And we want to encourage action takers to come in. We don't want you to buy the program, set it aside, do nothing with it, have no motivation at all. Because when you get in and just start, we built it so you have a very simple way to get started. We kill procrastination for you. Get that momentum going, you're going to be excited. We set you up to get your emails down to 0 in just an hour or two as a quick early win, and then you're just going to be like, I want more of this. I want more of this. And it's amazing to see the results. But if you're buying it thinking, oh, maybe I'll try it, you know what? we're not trying to encourage you to purchase. We just wait till it's more the time, or you feel like there's definitely an urgency or a need there. But for those who feel like this would be a huge answer and a solution to the things I need, we would love to have you come in risk-free and just knock it out of the park.
Now, I did have a question come in that says, what if I've purchased programs in the past and I haven't used them, and I'm afraid I'm not going to? I really appreciate you asking that question, because I completely understand, and I don't want you wasting money, and I don't want you wasting time. I want you to do the opposite. I want to help you save money and save time. So here's what I would say. Well, the question I would ask is, if you've purchased a program in the past, did you have a Command Central in place in order to apply it? Because what I most often hear is people are like, no, I've never had a Command Central. Like I bought something that looked good to me, but I was trying to implement it on top of my piles. If that's the case, it's not your fault you weren't successful with that. It was just that you literally, no one ever showed you how to get set up in order to be successful. I buy programs all the time online because that's how I learn how to discipline my kids, how to eat healthfully, how to do webinars, how to run our business. Like I purchase online programs frequently, but I use all of them because my Command Central helps me to do that. So what we would essentially do is you're going to come into this program, we're going to start from ground zero, we're going to help you build that Command Central, so then it basically unlocks any other program or membership that you have. Now you're going to obviously want to be really careful how much you put on your plate, because we don't want to be overwhelming ourselves. Our goal is to help you simplify your life, but that's hopefully helpful. Cindy wants to know how to get started, so I'm going to show you, and then I'll come back and talk more about the step library. And the step library is only with Mastery, and it's only if you purchase through the webinar. So that's there for you, and I'll come back and explain a little bit more about what's in the step library, but it's like a treasure trove of resources. So I'll show you.
Well, and I need to do some welcomes to people, and we are now extending it to the first 20.
First 20, okay, welcome.
Holy cow, you good people. There's amazing interest. Like, there's going to be this great incoming group today that joins into that Facebook group and kind of introduces themselves.
Glad.
So I hope I'm saying it right, but Sarita, Candace, Dolores, Donna, and Lisa. We are so excited to have you with us. And again, all of you came in with the Mastery program. Now, let's see. I'll double check on Lisa's. Just want to make sure you got that confirmation.
Yeah, it looks like it didn't go through. Is it the bottom one?
Yeah.
So that looks like it didn't charge correctly. It might be if like the CVC code was put in wrong or something like that. But we're happy to help work with you right afterwards. We'll save the free self-study for a friend.
It didn't charge, grandfathered into the free self-study. So work with us either here in the text chat privately or offline. We'll get you taken care of. We totally want to welcome you into the program.
Okay, and I'm going to show you guys now where to get started and how to get started, and then I'll just answer some additional questions that have come in about the step library. And we're just here seriously just to make it as easy as possible. I don't want you feeling stressed. I want you to be able to like breathe and be happy, but we did extend the free self-study for a friend of the first 20 because we had such a huge response. So really excited to serve you, and we're here to take care of you. Okay, let me show you what's going to happen. Once you do join and the purchase goes through successfully, within 5 minutes you receive an email that gives you an auto login link. We're going to automatically generate a password for you, so you don't have to like go register on our site or anything. Don't go to our homepage, okay? Our homepage is like totally separate. What we have here, they're like secret links that only go to you. So when you get that login, it's going to take you right to your login, and there's a getting started section there. The best thing that we're going to give you is this checklist that's going to be, oh sorry, is it not showing up? Let me press play on the Zoom chair. Is it showing yet?
I'm seeing getting started.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure you're seeing that.
Just now.
Okay. Okay. So we got this checklist right here, which shows you the 8 modules and all the steps. Here's the thing, like when someone's asking about the assignments, like, well, what are the assignments that you give us? They're so easy. Everything's less than 10 minutes. So it's like 10 minutes watching this video, 7 minutes watching this video. Now you're just going to actually make a commitment to yourself. You don't have to post on social media, but maybe you put a little note on the mirror. But we show you how you're going to start clearing your space, how you're going to get your emails to 0 step by step. This, if you have ink in your printer, I want you to print this out and put it on a clipboard. If you don't have ink on your printer, then I want you to just save it digitally. We have a digital option you can check off digitally because I know how it goes. So that's there for you. You're going to start with that, and then literally it's like module 1, step 1. People are like, where do I start? Where do I start? Like, it's in order. We've already put it in order for you. Module 1, step 1. I also would encourage you to come in the Facebook group if you're in Mastery. The Facebook group is only for active Mastery members, and we're very protective of that group because We have coaches in there. We're there to help answer questions. We're there to help you feel excited about what you're doing. And if someone like comes in and then cancels, they actually are taken out of the Facebook group too. We want to make sure that it's for people who are actually in and doing it. There's no judging in there, so much support, people sharing best practices, people networking, getting together in their own hometowns. Like, it's really fun. So that Facebook group, you can request access there and we'll get you in within, usually by the end of the day, we'll have you in there. I want to show you how to do the free self-study for a friend. Let me explain that a little bit more, because I know a lot of people are like, okay, I really want to come in and have someone do this with me who I already know and trust in my life. Someone who's also disorganized, but who's only disorganized because they don't know how to be organized. They would if they knew how. This is what we're going to show you. So what's fun is, if I were you and you just bought Mastery, and we extended that first 20 now, so you get to come in and this should be already in your account. It'll show up on your table of contents. If you don't see it, it's probably because you bought using a different email address. And so we have 2 accounts for you we need to merge. If that's the case, just reply to any email we sent to you and say, hey, I think I have 2 accounts. Here's my 2 emails. Or I spelled my name 2 different ways, and then we'll merge your accounts for you, and that'll show up. So if I just joined Mastery, I would go in. I want you clicking through and just look at the whole program. It's not like the monster in the closet. Really, it's so easy. And once you get in, you'll be like, oh, this is so doable. So I want you to look through it, maybe watch a video or 2. Then I want you to call a friend that you think, oh, this is the perfect person, and say, I'm going to learn how to get my emails to 0, get rid of every pile, and build a command central based on David Allen's kind of getting things done methodology. Do you want to join me? I have a free self-study program I can give to a friend. Usually it's $247 to buy it, but you get it free since I bought the Mastery program. Do you want to come in? Then when your friend's like, yes, of course, then you come in here and there's a link here at the bottom. You click that once. You can only click it once, because then it's going to be removed from your account. It's just one free self-study for a friend. But when you click it, this will pop up and it says friend's name and email, your name and email. You just type in the information they want. We send them one email with their registration, and then they have their own login, okay? So, and we don't keep marketing to them or anything. So they're just gonna get that one email from us. Then they would have to opt in if they wanted any future communications. Your friend can also do it self-paced. Someone's asking, does my friend have to go on a schedule? No, they can do it self-paced too. So you both have lifetime access. And what's fun is that then you have someone who you already know from your life. You can say, hey, come in this program with me. Tell me if I was crazy for buying it, you know, or tell me this is the best program you've ever seen and let's do it together. Because now you have a friend you can trust who's going to be like, holy cow, this is so great. And if they have questions, you have the Facebook group. You can ask the questions and get coaching help for your friend, which, you know, they always say, like, the way to learn something well is to teach it to another person. So that's actually going to help you be more successful while helping that brother, sister, parent, you know, whoever else is going through it, okay?
A couple of real quick questions coming in. So somebody said, thank you. So glad we can go back and review today's presentations until I can afford the program.
Absolutely.
Great presentations. Thank you so much. Like, we've had so many kind words and compliments come in. We really appreciate that. We've tried to build a class and a program that's going to be helpful to people, because honestly, we want people who've devoted an hour to be with us to have learned 4 things they can put into practice and get real value from. So we hope that's been the case for everyone in the class. If there are ways we need to improve, let us know, private to panelists, if we can make this class even more valuable. But just love the kind words and compliments, so thank you. Ingrid, she asked where you got those beautiful white cubbies. And I said, Michael's. They're usually, sometimes they go on discount about 40 to 50%. She said, do you know the name or item number of the cubbies you use? She's not seeing them on the Michael's website. So any thought on that?
I think they're called Recollections. I love them. They're scrapbook
I'm
paper
impressed
holders.
you know that.
Well, people love these. So I have to tell you. And I have like the exact link in the program to all my stuff. I will add this. I got this at Staples and I got this at Michael's. But if you go into the section at Michael's where they have all the, they just have a bunch of these white things. It's like a recollections thing. And they'll have some that are drawers and they have some that are like squares. And then they have these. But I love these because they hold, like I have my journal in here. I have file folders and they fit really well. Paper sorters are shorter, and if you put a file folder in there, you have to like cut off the tab, and that's annoying. So these are so good. But we had someone who literally got cereal boxes and made cubbies out of cereal boxes just using hot glue and stuff. So that's really fun too. I mean, you can use whatever you have, but these, so I think it's like, when I got it 40% off, it was something like $20 each, and this is 2 cubbies. So there they kind of work together. Okay.
And Lucille just said, thank you so much for the information. I will seriously consider it. Time is a huge factor.
Yeah.
You've done a great job. I would love to revisit your site. Godspeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucille.
So much.
Thank you very much.
Now, I'm just going to share a few more testimonials from people who've come in, and they've all given me permission to share this here in the class. I have this, it's this balance where I want to encourage you to come in because I want to help to have this change your life. Like, I really want this to help you. But at the same time, I don't like pushy people, so I'm not going to push you. I just want you to think of this as a very loving invitation to come join us risk-free. Like, really, we give it to you 60 days risk-free. But I'm going to share like what Janice said. So she bought Mastery the same morning she sent me this email. So by 1:02 p.m., I get this. She's like, I'm loving this already. I especially love how you've broken down each module into steps so I don't have this long video to watch. She says, can I thank you loud enough? I know this will work for me. I can't wait to report back. I love this because she can come in the program in just an hour or so. She was actually in there an hour. Back to step 2 of module 1. She'd been in there like 10 minutes. She's like, seriously, I already know this is going to work. She's super, super excited about it. You can come in today. You get full access to the whole program today. So we're not dripping it. We're not trying to like just hold it back and have you just a little time. We're actually giving you access, full access. So you can click around, apply the whole thing, and you can see the power of this. Because I'm not good at everything. There's a lot of things I'm really not good at. But what I believe I'm best in the world at is showing people how to build a command central and how to apply these really specific GTD-based ideas, getting things done. It's like putting, the rubber to the road. I'm going to show you what this is going to look like on a day-to-day basis. And then you are going to have a system that's going to just change things for you. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because I know the potential that you have, and I know what this is going to do for you.
A real quick question. So we got Lisa in finally. She got her confirmation. So that all worked out for her. Awesome. Any other questions? If you have any technical needs, I'll drop the link in there again for anyone who's looking for the link to purchase. But Lisa actually asked a great question. Says, does my friend need to do this online? So I don't know if that she meant like going through the class. Oh, through the class. Like, does she need to go through this class, or will the email you send them with the self-study be clear and explanatory enough? Yeah, the email that your friend will receive will give them immediate access to come into the program. There's a replay of a past class in the Getting Started section, and a copy of the slides and a transcript. So if your friend wants to come to a live class, which we actually have a lot of people come in, they're like, hey, I just got the free self-study program. I just want to come in and see what y'all are doing. Like, that's fine. So your friend may want to come to a class, which is great. And then they'll know they've already got the program. And if they wanted to upgrade, then they could. But that's totally up to not
them.
A requirement.
Totally up to them. Okay. Oh, someone found the link to the Michael's Cubby Organizer. Yep, recollections. You guys are
way
so
to be
awesome.
On your game. Oh, she shared it private to panelists. So
okay, you want to type it in? So I love this.
DFWWI gets credit for this, but I'll put it on the link there.
Well, and really, like, this is the fun of having a community, because now you have people who are like, ooh, I just found this. Oh, you're going to like this. Or like the book I recommend all the time is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. People are just posting, oh, this book's $2.99 on Amazon this week, and helping each other, because you have in the Facebook group, there's more than 2,000 people who all have their eyes out for the best resources. That's pretty awesome, and that's why I get super excited about it. Someone's saying, I haven't received a confirmation yet. Okay, it should take 5 minutes. If you don't get it after 5 minutes, please email us, because occasionally someone will like type in and the M for .com on the email address didn't go through, or something happened where it's getting delivered to the wrong email. Or if you have a Hotmail account, sometimes there's Hotmail deliverability. We need to have you confirm an email. So let us know. If it doesn't arrive to you, then let us know for sure, and we'll help that. And okay, it looks like Paige has 2 emails. Paige, if you could just copy what you just put in the text chat and put it in an email to email@learndobecome.com, then our assistant Danielle will take care of it. I can't go to it right now because I have the slides up, but if you can go send us an email, we'll get that done right away. Super excited for you. Okay, I'm going to just share a couple more stories, and then we'll be closing up in just a moment. So any final questions, let us know. Or if you're like, I don't know, anything else you want to talk about, we're here to help you. So Gwen is in our program. She's an artist, and she wanted to create everything green. So she bought this green paint. She got these little labels. She's really excited about what she's building. And then she posted this in the Facebook group, which I'm so excited about. She's like, she'd been in Mastery for a little while, had her command central all set up, and then she's found this home that went on the market, perfect for her family. She's like, we're closing in 5 weeks. Like, it just all of a sudden popped up, and this is her house. And she said, I feel so much better prepared to process the flood of decisions and projects, because now she has a systematic, organized way of thinking. This step system, like if you have a move coming up, you have a child going to college, you're starting a business, you're starting a new job, you're planning to travel, you've got like, if you're starting to homeschool, or you just want to revamp all that. This system, like what will help a homeschooling mother or a mother set up a routine around the house, and what will help a business owner to actually apply systems that his team can use to keep the work going, the principles are the same. And so what you'll find in this group is that it's people who love their families, who want to spend their time well, and who want to be ultra productive without being stressed. That's what you're going to find in this group. And it's seriously amazing. Like, I love being a part of it. And I feel like Eric and I are basically just here to help you guys come to the party, because then you all are amazing. I mean, there's people in the Facebook group. We now have Step Mastery ambassadors who bought the program, successfully implemented it. Now they just like cheering people on. So they're in there helping. I love it. So we kind of set it up as like a formal thing. They're actually our ambassadors. Anyway, there's just a lot of fun going on in there. So as you're looking at what you want for your life and as you're moving forward, we're just thrilled to be able to help you. And I get messages like this one from Narissa. Honestly, like, they come in consistently, and that's why I'm so dedicated to doing this. Now, she said she finished the online course, said it changed my life. Absolutely stoked about the system. She finished a very functional to-do list. What a relief. You're bringing hope. We're hearing this so consistently with people who are like, I've been looking for this for my whole life. I've been trying to get organized. I mean, I used to, before I found this system, I was making routines lists, spending hours trying to plan out every minute of my day so I could get everything done I needed to do. I was not breathing well. I was feeling super overwhelmed, and I would go to bed at night with my head just spinning. Like, it was not a fun way to live, and I felt discouraged like most of the time. I never felt like, oh, that was a great day, I got a lot done, ever. Now that I have this system in place, like, it feels like that every day. Every day feels like I get to move things forward. And when things are tricky and hard, well, that's a project, right? And so I feel such relief being able to now know when I hit a challenge, it's a project, but we're going to move forward and we're going to help each other. Because the thing is, you're taking care of so many people, whether it's through your family or through your job or your neighborhood. The people who come to this kind of a class, we found, really care about other people and are doing so much to take care of them. But what often happens is then no one's taking care of you. So then you end up taking the stress and feeling like you just have to work faster and faster and faster. What we're going to do is finally show you it's possible, and not only possible, it's like preferable and doable and easy to get these things done so that you can feel excited about your life. And that's what we're just thrilled about. So I think I went through all of this with you guys as far as how to get the self-study for a friend in, how to move forward. Yeah, Candy's saying, I've always been an extremist with organizing, but it's all or nothing. And I get it. Like, it's kind of like, let me just jump in and do a whole project, or let me just procrastinate. But that's where this is so different, because now we're saying, what if we can teach you a system that enables you to consistently be moving forward, and you never have those highs and lows? Now it's like, I'm just moving forward consistently every day. That's just my life. It's a much better way to live because it's sustainable. Even if you have a big family, even if you have multiple jobs, it's so doable. And this is Javenta's again. So this is her like overwhelming pile. She was one of the before and afters I showed you earlier. I mean, she has these pictures like of her whole house, and she was just organizing books last week. It was cute. She just posts them all and shows us how to do it. Okay, so a lot of great questions coming in. So Eric's responding, I think, to a lot of the little questions about logins and stuff like that. Any other final questions? I think there's still some in the Q&A I haven't gotten to, so I will jump into the Q&A. Eric, anything else you want to cover that I haven't covered?
No, we just had a great class here that we just love being with you today. So
how are we doing on the free self-study for
we still have a few available. We have a couple people who are looking to get out. As soon as they get off the class, they're buying. So I think we've got Karen and LA and Becky who fall into that category.
Okay.
So
excited
if
for
you have any
guys.
other questions or needs for us, let us know. And we're just here to be helpful and to be a resource to you. So ask away. We'll stay on for just a couple more minutes while we're kind of wrapping up and answering a few other people's questions. But we've really loved being part of the class with you today. We're so grateful to have you with us as part of the Learn, Do, Become community. It's just a great group, a great platform, and a great place to be. So it really is a lot of like-minded individuals who just want to learn principles and ideas that are going to help us make our lives better, smoother, and more focused, so we can get out of them what we want to get out, instead of just feeling like we're just grinding away week after week. So thank you so much for being here.
And we just had a question saying, sorry, you said the self-study is free right now. If you purchase a mastery program, you get a free self-study for a friend. So that's how we got it set up. So the mastery program, you can do one payment of $67 today, and then there'd be 5 more payments. They're just one a month, so a total of 6 payments for mastery. If you decide you want to be one of our first to buy the mastery, then you get the free self-study for a friend. That's if you want to be one of our first 20, we set that up. If you're not concerned about that and you're like, you know what, I think I'll just take the 4 steps you taught me today, I'll apply it. That's awesome. We've got that for you. Or if you want to just think about it and come back, you know, or join maybe mastery tomorrow or the next day until your window closes, that's fine too, whatever you'd like.
I want to welcome Elaine. Elaine just came in and just bought the mastery program.
Welcome for you.
We are very
so
excited for you. She actually has a last name that's all capitalized. So if she's still in the class and wants to send me a note private to panelists, it's I want to make sure it's typed in correctly. So if she wants to just give me the proper spelling of it, I want to make sure it's in the system correctly. So excited to have you with us. Welcome, Elaine, and everyone else who has purchased.
Yeah, and we are going to send out the recording. We're still recording right now, so I'm going to get this processed. We'll get that sent out to you, and we'll send you the slides.
And Angela just said, I've been at work. I've been kind of listening on and off. I don't want to miss anything. So if you got the emails that said you were here and kind of the follow-on email, you'll also get the email in just a few hours with the link to the replay recording and also the slides. So you can go back and review that at your discretion. And again, there's no pressure to buy right now. The only reason it makes sense to buy right now is to be one of the first ones to get that fast action bonus, to get that free self-study for a friend. You guys do have through Friday at midnight to consider the offer. You can get everything at the discounted prices and all the other bonuses or the resources April's mentioned. It's just that free self-study for a friend is something we just offer to kind of encourage people to take action and move forward. So one other thing I'll say is I've had a couple of people ask, you know, they want to make this investment. They'd love to get mastery. They'd love to get it with a free self-study for a friend, but they need to talk to a spouse or to a family member before making that kind of a commitment or an investment. We totally get it. It's an investment not only of money, but of time and energy. So if you have made an agreement with someone like a spouse to talk about that, we want to honor that. April and I have something similar in place if we're making a big commitment. So if that would be helpful to you, we want to be able to give those people a chance to be able to talk with that person, get the replay, maybe show them some of the class and talk about some of the key outcomes they'd love to get from the program. If it would be helpful to you, we're willing to make it available to you to buy mastery through midnight tonight, let's say. And if you buy by then, we'll give you a free self-study for a friend as well. So if you want to just put that in the text chat, maybe just put your email address and the word mastery, private to panelists. Just let me know and I'll make a note of your names if you need to talk to a spouse or a family member. And then if your purchase comes through before midnight tonight, we'll make sure you get that free self-study for a friend. So wonderful.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Okay, and then a question's coming in. What's the best link I can send a friend so they can read over an introductory to the program to see if it would benefit them? Okay, that's a great point. We're actually still just building a sales page. We've just been having our webinars and haven't actually put together a full page for it. I think what might be helpful is when we send you the replay of the class, if you want to forward that to your friend, and you can explain like they did the teaching part of the class for like the first, 45 or 50 minutes, right before the hour, they explain the program. So then your friend could like watch that or look at that. As far as we do need more stuff typed out. So I don't have a whole lot more typed out, but hopefully that would be enough to be helpful. Another thing that you could do is if that main idea sounds good to your friend who's getting the free self-study, you could offer it to that friend, and if like they hate it, then we can help you get a different friend or something like that. But hopefully that would work out okay.
So I was going to say, so we just had Jennifer come in, send her email address in, and be considered for mastery after she talks to a spouse. So again, great.
Awesome.
Anybody wants to put in their email address and the word mastery into panelists, we'll just make a note of that. Make sure you have that ability. If you are able to have that conversation, they say, yeah, let's do that. It'll be awesome. Real quick, also. Somebody just said something awesome. They said, you guys are awesome. So ready to get my life-changing moment. I have paid a professional organizer, but need to do it myself to get my family back. And that's one of my favorite things. It's not that someone's coming in to do it for you. There's a place for personal organizers, but it's kind of a one-time fix, and things tend to drop off and fall back into the way they were. What I love about this program and I love about this community that gives ongoing support and encouragement, we're going to teach you the skills for yourself. You're going to learn how to do these things, and then it's something you can run for the rest of your life. And then it radiates out and affects your spouse, your children, the people you work with. So we want to have you make this investment so you get the skills for yourself and not be hiring it out or outsourcing it to someone to come on and do periodic kind of maintenance or upkeep. So if that's a help to you, we'd love to have you kind of be able to come in and have that experience.
Yeah, and really, and someone saying, awesome, thanks for the replay. I missed the first half. Looking forward to watching the whole video. Awesome. Yes, we would love to. And you know what I would recommend you do is really like look at your calendar and set up time. Like, okay, when am I going to watch it? Because that first half, that's going to be super effective for you because you've already seen the last half. Now it's going to help fill in the vision, but that can help you be more productive as of tomorrow. So really excited about that. I'm just going to share just a couple more testimonials on here to help you to see like some things that people have said who've already in the program, like Fiona, who's here. I love what she said. I realized the stuff that was weighing me down actually was not just doable, but easily done. I loved hearing that from her. She said, I've done more in the past 3 months than in the past 3 years. The reason why I get so passionate about this is because so many people think it's their fault if they're not as productive as they'd like, or if their home is a mess, or if their office is everywhere, or they have thousands of emails. They're like, oh, I'm just messy, or they're kind of known for like not being on the ball. But what I want you to know is that when you actually learn the steps to build a command central and logically how to create projects and how to execute in a way that's so easy that you could do it with your family, you're going to see that it absolutely wasn't your fault. It's just that you hadn't learned something that worked with your life. But what's happening every day is that people who come in the program, they're making it work. And it's like magic. Like I get it so excited about it. And it's not me. It's like the system is working. Cheryl came in. I was hesitant to purchase till someone made the comments less than what it would cost to bring in a personal organizer. So she got it. She's like, my husband didn't really get it. He's like, you don't need a webinar to clean, he didn't understand. But he started seeing results. Started seeing, oh my gosh, look what you're doing to our house. He's like, can you do the office? And she's like, sure. So she did the office first. And like, she has my same cubbies, those ones from Michael's. Really, those are awesome cubbies. But it's not just the cubbies, it's the way you set them up. Because as you learn how to make current project support materials, nothing in these cubbies has any task associated with it that's not already in my system. So I don't have to look in these cubbies. They're strictly resources where I can engage as needed. That's what we're going to show you. So you can be like Wendy, who's like, I love having peace of mind. I know how to handle the hundreds of papers and time demands that come in daily. That's something that I want for you, because if right now you're just stressed, you're like, I don't know how to handle all the stuff that comes in. I want to, but I just don't know how to handle it. Then that's why we're here to support you and help you. Okay, I see a couple more questions coming in. Oh, Ellen had put in an email address. You got that one.
I've already updated it in the system.
And I love that. You're doing great, dear. And really, like, we're just here to be able to help you, walk you through these steps. I just want you to know that if you are actually like, I'm committed to making this happen. If you're like, April and Eric, I am not a kind of person who plays around. Like, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to give it my all. If that's how you're coming into the program, I have no doubt you'll be successful. Because the people who come in who are like, I'm going to do this, they're successful. The only people who aren't successful are the ones who are like, I don't really want to try. I'm not going to open the program. Like, if you don't open the program, I can't help you. But if you're willing to open it, then you will see you are going to be the hero. I mean, you're the hero of your life. You're going to be the hero in your family. It's going to be amazing what's going to happen for you and for everyone who's on your team, either at work or in your home. And that's something that's really important, I think, for all of us to recognize, is that you have this possibility and this capability. I want you to be our next success story. I want to be able to feature you. There was someone yesterday who posted her before and afters and like, can I go share these on social media? She's like, sure. Her name's Patty. I'm going to be posting those a little bit later today. But I'm so proud of her. It's just so super fun. I might even be able to find them on my phone so I can show you how cute they are. Because this is why I'm super excited about it, because I'm watching what's happening. Okay, let me show you Patty's. You might be able to see it on my phone. Can they see it? Is it too, it's probably too hard to show, right? That's her little cluttered room.
I can barely see it on a laptop.
Sorry,
so if they're on a phone,
she created this beautiful room. Yeah, sorry, it's probably not showing up very well. But she showed me these pictures. I'm so excited for her. She has a couple of them. So we'll be posting those on social media later. Someone did say, you found our Facebook page. So we have a LearnDoBecome page just for everyone. The group that's for Step Mastery, that's a private group. The link is inside of your program. So you can just request access. We verify you're in the program, then we bring you in. But so excited about having you. And Susan says, I spent hundreds of dollars on organizer. My house is still a mess. I'm doing this so I can do it for myself and my family. You know what? I love what you just said there, because like, I've had people pay me to be their professional organizer. I used to go into people's homes and I would do this. I don't do it anymore, well, for a couple reasons. Number one, I can help more people by doing it from online. Number two, it's way more effective for someone to come in and learn the program than to have me do it for them. Because at the end of the day, I'm not living there. So when they go back to their old habits, I'm not there to see it. But when people come in and they learn the system, they maintain it. And it's like, it's permanent. And that's where I just feel so excited about this and excited about your commitment, because when you have a deep enough why, when you're like, you know what, my family needs this. I don't want my kids growing up in piles. I don't want my children feeling like they can never find the papers they need for school. I don't want my family always getting frustrated with each other because we can't find things and we're digging through piles on our way out the door and we're always late. I want my kids to actually be able to invite their friends over so that like they walk in the house, they feel good. Now our house isn't spotless. I'm okay with that, but I'm never embarrassed for someone to come over. If someone knocks at the door, welcome, come on in, come in my kitchen.
It's not perfectly clean.
Come in my closet, whatever. Like I'm not embarrassed about it. I don't bring it in my closet, but you know what I mean? Like I'm not embarrassed about it. And that's just what I want for you, because people want to be in your presence. People love you for your warmth. They love you for being understanding and compassionate. They love you for listening. They love you for the fact that you care and that you're willing to be helpful to them. Like that's why people want to be with you. And when we're keeping people away because we think the piles are going to repel people, all we're doing is stopping those relationships from ever forming. And I know at the end of the day, when we look back on our lives, it really doesn't matter if you had a clean house. Like really at the end of the day, it doesn't. But it does matter if you had relationships and had opportunities to be able to create a home where people felt comfortable and welcome. Like that is important. And we just believe it's time for you to do what you were meant to do. We had someone in our Facebook group who took this and like put it on her wall. I love it because it's true. I mean, you have skills we don't have. And by us being able to use our skills well and live our purpose, then we're helping you use yours.
And Cindy just made that comment. She said, I call that what you just described about your house, guest ready. My ultimate goal. Not that it's perfectly organized, perfectly clean, but it's guest ready. You feel comfortable.
I love that.
Allowing friends, family, people in your community come on by and just be part of your life. So I love that. Thanks, Cindy.
I love it too.
And then Lauren actually said in the Q&A, she said another point that would market your course is that the cost of the master class is about the cost of a 3-credit class at a university. I haven't heard that mentioned today. Great point, Lauren.
Really
Thanks for sharing
good point. And that's the thing. It's like some people even mention things like that they would go into, you know, they'll pay $60 a month for a child to take karate, or you'll pay hundreds of dollars for piano lessons, or, I mean, there's so many things that you'll invest in, especially for your children. But when you think like, am I willing to invest in myself to help teach me the skills I need to be able to manage my work, my home, my projects? Like it's really important, and that's amazing. Okay, question came in and said, will you add us to the Facebook page? How should we find it? If you're in Mastery, log into your Mastery program, and right below Module 8, there's a link. We'll also send you an email like tomorrow reminding you to come in the Facebook group. So, but just come on in and request access, and then we'll add you. You just have to request the access. So.
Rebecca's
yeah,
call's a great one.
It's time. I'm so tired of drowning in clutter. Perfectionism and decision and information overwhelm have all but paralyzed me. Baby steps, bite-sized pieces. Sounds wonderful. Fly Lady has been helpful. I'm still stuck in many areas. You know, and I love Fly Lady. So Marla Silly, I've actually done 2 interviews with her over these mom conferences and done a lot of work with her over the years. And she's fantastic. And I feel like what she does is helps me learn how to make my routines really doable. So actually in our routine section, I have a spreadsheet that I made just based on Fly Lady's book on how you can keep the routines going. But what happens is when you can figure out how to get the calendar and the next actions and the command central for your tickler, your incubation, like all the stuff I'm going to show you how to make, you combine this with Fly Lady, it's awesome. Like that's how you end up with a clean house and a calm mind, and you feel like I can do this again. And that's how I want you to wake up every morning. I want you to wake up feeling super excited, like, hey, I've got a fun day ahead of me. You know, I get to live my life again today. And then you get to go to bed content, saying, you know what, I actually moved a lot of things forward. And sure, the day didn't go exactly as planned. No day does. But today was a really good day. When you can wake up every morning excited and go to bed every night content. And then, you know, obviously there's some days in the middle where you're like, oh, it's just a hard day. That's okay. That's life-changing, and we're just thrilled.
Absolutely. I want to welcome Marilyn into the program as well. She just joined.
Welcome, Marilyn.
And also a
So
couple of names, just
for
make sure you
you.
know that I've got you listed down. So we have those who will be talking to their spouse or a family member before making the decision before midnight tonight about Mastery. We've got Tony, Jennifer, Rebecca, and Ellen are the names I've noted down. So if there's anyone else out there who'd like to kind of have me put you down on this list to be watching out for you. We'd love to be able to kind of support that. So just let us know. We're about to sign off, give you back your day, but we have just really loved being with you. We hope this class, this experience today has been helpful, has been informative, but also motivating. I won't say inspiring, but motivating. Just giving you that ability to see your way forward, because we want every person who joined us for the class today to leave the class better off and ready to start taking life by the horns, moving things in the direction they want to go. So thank you so much for being with us. You guys have been awesome, and just have a great rest of your day.
Such a great class. Take care, everybody. So glad you're here with us at Learn, Do, Become.